After being slapped by my fiancée, I awakened to the plot and realized I was the villainous male supporting character. The female lead is actually the daughter of our family's maid. I was deeply drawn to her kind and resilient personality and fell for her. In the future, I would lose all my family's wealth because of her and meet a terrible end. I glanced at the female lead in my arms and the furious fiancé glaring at me from across the room. This plain and unremarkable female lead versus the charming and alluring fiancé. Anyone with eyes would know which to choose. When the moment I saw Sophia Davis pushing Emily Jones into the water, I nearly lost my mind. I rushed over to help Emily up, wiping the water droplets from her face with aching heart. When Sophia saw it was me, she pointed at my nose and started yelling, "Ethan Miller, you bastard! Did you give my scholarship to Emily?" I frowned and glanced at her. Emily works harder and is more motivated than you. Her family is struggling. She needs this opportunity more. Emily tearfully sobbed, "Sophia, your family is so wealthy. Missing one scholarship wouldn't affect you at all. Why are you bullying me?" Emily's crying shattered my heart. I fumbled anxiously to comfort her. Sophia let out a mocking laugh as if she'd heard some ridiculous joke, her tone dripping with sarcasm. "Emily, have you no shame? I ranked first in our program. What's wrong with me receiving this scholarship? What does my family's wealth have to do with you? This is a merit-based scholarship, not financial aid. Who said wealthy students can't qualify?" Emily was left speechless by Sophia's retort. Burrowing deeper into my arms, she wept even more bitterly. I somehow reached out irritably and pushed Sophia, causing her to fall to the ground. Before she could react, I glared at her fiercely and threatened, "Apologize to Amy. If you don't apologize today, we'll call off the engagement." Sophia froze, and the classmates who had gathered to watch were all stunned. Emily tugged at my sleeve like a pitiful little rabbit. "Ethan, don't start a conflict with Sophia because of me." Looking at kind-hearted Emily, I confessed to her, "The one I like is you, not some malicious, spoiled young lady like her." Slapped before I could finish speaking, Sophia's palm struck my face with brutal force. The room fell into complete silence. I could no longer hear Sophia's scolding or the students' clamorous whispers, because I had just realized I was the villainous second male lead, Emily's most loyal lapdog. I had thrown tantrums to break off my engagement with Sophia for Emily's sake, enraging the entire Davies family. Emily's stepbrother Leo Smith was the male lead. He and Emily had always liked each other, but I was oblivious. I even poured my heart out to help Leo for Emily's sake. When his startup needed funding and resources, I didn't hesitate to provide assistance, enabling him to build his own business empire with my help and become a tech tycoon. On the day Leo achieved fame and success, he turned against the Miller Group. One careless move on my part allowed Emily to steal the company's confidential files. Falling right into their trap, the Miller Group went bankrupt. My father couldn't bear the shock and jumped to his death. My mother completely lost her mind, ending up homeless and disappearing without a trace. I was chased around like a stray dog by debt collectors, then caught and sold to a Mexican crime syndicate. Living became worse than death. It was truly too miserable. Breaking free from the plot, I looked at Emily in my arms and Sophia glaring at me, realizing how blind I had been. Emily kept crying nonstop, thinking of what she would do to me in the future. I irritably pushed her away. Sophia's eyes were slightly red at the corners, as if she had made up her mind before speaking. "Fine, since you want to break off the engagement for Emily's sake, I'll grant your wish." With that, Sophia turned and walked away. I quickly caught up to her in a few hurried steps and blurted out, "No breaking off the engagement. What nonsense was I spouting earlier? My mind wasn't clear just now." A flicker of joy flashed in Sophia's eyes, but she still reached up tentatively to feel my forehead. "Ethan Miller, if you're sick, go see a doctor." Emily stepped forward, grabbed my hand, and said to Sophia with righteous indignation, "Sophia, how could you say such things about Ethan?" Then, wiping away her tears, she gave me a relieved smile. "Ethan, are you worried that Sophia will bully me even more recklessly after you break off the engagement? You're so kind to go this far for me. Sophia doesn't have any real malice. She's just jealous that you like me. I'll endure her bullying." Sophia glared at me with hatred, bit her lip, and ran away. I was just about to explain things to Sophia when Emily wrapped her arms around my waist. "Ethan, although I know you really like me, I can't agree to be with you. I want to make myself better, work hard to earn money, and give my mother a good life." In the story, Emily said the same thing, and it moved me to tears. I always thought she was kind and strong. Even though she didn't agree to be with me, she worked hard to make herself worthy of me. Emily's mother was hospitalized, but whenever I tried to give her money directly, she always refused, so I had to help her secure the scholarship she'd been longing for. I secretly paid her hospital bills, and she scolded me for it. "Ethan, don't do this again. I want to rely on myself, not accept your money," she said. She went looking for part-time jobs, but complained they were exhausting with low pay, coming to cry to me many times. My heart ached unbearably, so I arranged for her to join Miller Group, where she could receive the same salary as regular employees without needing to work much. Emily had barely visited the company a few times. I smiled self-deprecatingly, removed Emily's hand from my waist, and asked her seriously, "Emily, do you like me?" Emily's eyes flickered as she countered, "What's wrong, Ethan? Have I not been good to you?" I shook my head and walked away without looking back. I used to think Emily was really nice to me. She often brought me homemade snacks. Later, I found out she was just using me as a test subject. Only after I said it tasted good would she make it for Leo. At first, the things Emily made were truly awful. If I showed even the slightest hint of not being able to eat it, she would cry. "I worked so hard to make this for you. My hands got burned with blisters. You have to finish it all." I had no choice but to force myself to eat it, and several times I ended up with food poisoning and had to go to the hospital for 4 drips. Emily would also give me gifts, but they were all promotional freebies or random things she picked up at flea markets. This damn plot actually made me fall for a hypocritical woman like Emily. Yet the person I loved most was always Sophia. I've adored her since childhood, and my dream was always to marry her. During these days when I changed my heart, how much pain she must have endured. In the story after our Miller Group went bankrupt, it was she who handled my father's funeral arrangements and searched everywhere for my mother. She wanted to help me repay the debts, but I couldn't bear to face her again, nor did I want to drag her down, so I drove her away with harsh words. On the day Sophia married someone else, I hid in the shadows watching her exchange rings with another man, listening as she said I do. My little girl has finally found her own happiness. 3. I went to see the Dean of Academic Affairs to have Sophia's scholarship reinstated. Dean Evans patted his head with a look of helplessness. "Mr. Miller, though our school library was donated by your family, that doesn't mean you get to call all the shots here." I lazily crossed my legs and leaned back on the sofa, answering him absent-mindedly. "Just tell me isn't Sophia Davis the top student in our department? Didn't she win all those academic awards our school just received?" Director Evans raised the book in his hand as if to hit me over the head, but restrained himself. "That's exactly what I told you back then, but you insisted that Emily Jones came from a poor family, that she worked hard, and that scholarships should go to those who work hard. But look at her mediocre grades. She wouldn't even make the waiting list for scholarships." In the end, the scholarship was returned to Sophia. The list of recipients was announced that very day and posted on the bulletin board. In the classroom, Emily's best friend, Jessica, rested her chin on her hands, gazing at Emily with envy. "I'm so jealous you got the scholarship. Our school's scholarships are so generous." Emily slightly raised the corners of her lips to encourage Jessica. "You can earn it too. If you work hard, keep going." The other classmates wore expressions as if they swallowed flies upon hearing this. Sophia sneered and mocked. "Do you really have no idea how you got that scholarship? With your disastrous grades, how dare you tell others to work hard?" Emily covered her face and began to cry. "You were born with a silver spoon in your mouth. Your family enrolled you in all kinds of tutoring classes, and no matter how hard I try, I can never compete with achievements bought by money. The school even gives golden opportunities to rich people like you, letting you win all kinds of awards while I don't even qualify for competitions." As Emily cried, everyone instinctively took her side, urging Sophia to apologize to her. Frowning, I walked over and sat on the table next to Sophia. "There are classmates in our class with worse family conditions than yours, yet their grades are much better than yours. Are you sure it's the school not giving you the opportunity to compete rather than you not being capable enough to participate?" This is the first time in 3 years of university that I've stood up for Sophia against Emily. Everyone was shocked. Even Sophia looked at me with disbelief and warily moved aside. "Sophie is guarding against me." A surge of bitterness rose in my nose. Emily widened her eyes, tears falling like broken strings of pearls, large drops crashing down one after another. "Ethan, did she threaten you with your family's business collaboration? I know my family isn't as wealthy as Sophia's. It's only natural you'd help her slander me. I just never thought you'd stoop so low for money. Aren't we supposed to be best friends?" I raised an eyebrow with a half smile. "Sophia and I grew up together. She's my fiancée. Who else would I help if not her? Also," I added, "other than Sophia, I don't have any close female friends. Don't go spreading rumors that might make my fiancé misunderstand." At this, everyone's jaws nearly hit the floor in astonishment. Just as the atmosphere turned awkward, someone burst in shouting, "The scholarship list is out. The recipient from our class is Sophia." Holy shit, after all Emily's bragging, I really thought she'd get the scholarship. Emily jumped up in panic and ran toward the bulletin board downstairs with many others following her. Sophia's face showed a complex expression. After a long silence, she finally spoke. "Why?" I held her hand and said solemnly, "If I told you that I was like someone who had been cursed to fall for Emily before, would you believe me?" Sophia pulled her hand away and knocked on my head. "If you're sick, go see a doctor right away." For today is Friday. Just as I stepped out of the school gate, after class, someone punched me right in the face. Leo swung his fist, trying to hit me in the face again, but I kicked him away. I wiped the blood from the corner of my mouth, wincing in pain, with a sharp hiss. Leo scrambled up from the ground, shouting at me furiously. How dare you steal Amy's scholarship for your fiancée? Does having money and power make you special? I glanced at him, my eyes filled with obvious disdain and contempt. Her scholarship, how shameless! Emily came running from afar, crying pitifully with tears streaming down her face. Brother, forget it. We can't win against them. I don't want this scholarship anymore. This Emily, is she the heroine from some tragic drama? All she does is cry all day long. I straightened the clothes that Leo had wrinkled earlier and sneered. You don't want it, or is it that you can't get it? Emily burst into louder sobs. Ethan, I don't know what Sophia told you to make you treat me like this. You knew perfectly well that scholarship was my mother's lifeline, yet you pressured the dean to give it to Sophia. Are you trying to kill my mother? Sophia is the heiress of the Davis Group. This scholarship isn't even worth one of her meals yet you. Before Emily could finish speaking, she fainted in tears into Leo's arms. Leo was frantic. He picked Emily up and hailed a nearby taxi. The way he looked at me was like he wanted to devour me alive. If anything happens to my sister, I'll skin you alive. I narrowed my eyes, slightly watching the taxi drive away. Emily was kind and hardworking, sorry, but the awakened me couldn't see any of that. Someone posted a video online of Leo and me fighting at the school gate, with Emily crying and complaining, sparking heated discussions. By the time I saw the video, it had already gone viral. The backgrounds of Sophia and me were thoroughly exposed by netizens, with online voices calling for boycotts of Miller Group and Davis Group products. The public outrage caused fluctuations in the stock prices of both Miller Group and Davis Group. Sophia was sent by her father to our house to discuss solutions. When Sophia arrived at my place, I was leaning against the headboard playing games. She snatched my phone away and stomped her foot in anger. You're being cursed like a dog and still have the mood to play games here. I put my arm around her shoulder to make her sit down and poured her a glass of water. Calm down, it's not a big deal. Sophia gulped down a large mouthful of water and slammed the cup heavily on the table. Not a big deal, the academic director. Just call me. The phone lines are jammed with complaints demanding my scholarship be revoked. Your Miller family is about to launch a new product soon. With this incident happening, do you still plan to sell it? I pinched her cheek like I used to when we were kids, and she swatted my hand away. I reassured her, don't worry, let the situation develop a bit more. Sophia looked puzzled, but I didn't explain further and just took her to the restaurant for dinner. My mom was overjoyed to see Sophie and me reconcile. She personally cooked many of Sophie's favorite dishes. I recalled in the storyline how my parents' faces turned cold when I brought Emily home. Because of Emily, my relationship with my parents had also frozen completely. What a bunch of bastards. On Monday, the moment I arrived at school, Leo and Emily stopped me. He arrogantly issued his command, just return the scholarship to Emily and I'll delete that video online. I slightly raised my chin, unwilling to engage with this idiot. Mistaking my silence for fear, he continued smugly, the power of netizens is formidable. Even the school is withholding Sophia's scholarship. Now the Miller Group and Davis Group must be having a hard time too, aren't they? No wonder you're the future tech tycoon. You've even calculated this. Emily bit her lip and said with great grievance, Ethan, you promised me the scholarship. Why are you going back on your word? Sophia has won the scholarship so many times. Can't you just let me have it this once? I glanced at Sophia, hiding in the shadows, recording the video, and said indifferently, even Leo knows your abysmal grades can't possibly earn you a scholarship. That's why you're trying to blackmail me with this method. Isn't it? Your mother's medical bills were paid by me. Your tuition was funded by our family. You're listed as a part-timer at our Miller Group, collecting over $5,000 a month without lifting a finger. Why are you so obsessed with that scholarship? The key point is you don't even deserve it. Emily's body swayed precariously. Had Leo not caught her, she would have collapsed to the ground. Her face was deathly pale, making her appear even more pitiful. I worked so hard. Why can't I get the scholarship? Are scholarships only for the rich? I almost burst out laughing, my lips curling with undisguised sarcasm. You work hard at what being late and skipping class. Scholarships aren't for those who try hard, they're for those with good grades. Because if others have better results, it means they put in more than you. Emily couldn't bear me speaking to her like this, her tears threatening to overflow. Leo was furious, raising his fist at me in threat. Ethan Miller, I'm warning you, if you don't give that scholarship to Amy, I'll ruin the reputations of both the Miller and Davis families. I was genuinely amused, a playful lilt coloring my voice. Since Emily is so determined to work hard, I won't be paying her hospital bills anymore. The financial support from our Miller family will also be suspended. As for that part-time job, the Miller Group doesn't tolerate freeloaders. Emily, you keep boasting about being a kind and hardworking student, yet you seduce me into spending so much money on you, while shamelessly accepting it all. Is this what you call hard work? With that, I walked past them and left without hesitation. 7. The video, secretly recorded by Sophia, along with Emily's academic transcript, was posted online. along with its Sophia's top-ranking academic performance, and various awards were also posted. I arranged for school teachers and classmates to comment about Emily's true situation, pushing down Leo's hired trolls with controlled public opinion. The situation instantly reversed using videos to manipulate public opinion. It's not just those two who know how this young master can play that game too. Fighting fire with fire. It's that simple. Many netizens are now calling Emily and Leo shameless ISN. This blatant extortion. I've seen poor people before, but never someone who is poor with such righteous indignation. Just because she is poor, does that mean everyone has to give in to her? This girl is such a fake, always crying. Does she really think this scholarship was earned through tears? This is absolutely ridiculous. Emily doesn't even dare to come back to school. To mend my relationship with Sophia, I deliberately drove halfway across the city after class to buy her favorite cake. The gift I bought for her arrived 2 days early. It was the custom necklace she always wanted. I went back to my apartment near campus to retrieve it. The moment I stepped inside, I saw Emily emerging from her room wearing a spaghetti strap nightgown. I smacked my forehead hard, nearly dying from my own stupidity. Back then, Emily had wept in my ear about being ostracized by her dorm mates until she couldn't bear staying there anymore. I knew this was a perfect opportunity to nurture feelings, so I let her move in here. In the storyline, after discovering Leo and Emily were mutually attracted, I developed wicked thoughts toward Emily and nearly assaulted her here. Emily was rescued by Leo, who arrived just in time, and this marked the moment I completely turned to the dark side. Just thinking about it makes me sick. I hurriedly pulled out a cigarette, lit it, and took a deep drag to calm my nerves. Emily's eyes reddened instantly when she saw me. As she threw herself into my arms, I instinctively dodged, trying my best to avoid physical contact. My obvious avoidance only deepened Emily's distress. Her eyes dimmed as she cried out hoarsely in accusation. Is it because I refuse to be with you that you've turned love into hatred? Ethan, I've told you many times I said no, because I feel unworthy of you. Wouldn't it be better if we got together after I've improved myself? I exhaled a smoke ring and lazily lifted my eyelids. Playing me for a fool, Emily's face stiffened, but when she caught sight of the cake in my hand, her expression lit up with delight. Ethan, I knew you still like me. You bought my favorite cake. As she spoke, she reached for the cake in my hand. Before I could react, it was already in her grasp. With a dark expression, I said coldly, "Give it back." Emily kept her head down, fiddling with the cake, completely oblivious to the iciness in my tone. I walked up to her and reached for the cake. When I suddenly noticed the necklace around her neck, it looked strangely familiar. I grabbed her wrist, my gaze turning fierce. "Who told you to wear this?" Startled, Emily struggled to free herself, her voice laced with a pleading whine. "Ethan, you're hurting me." My hand tightened slightly, and Emily's face twisted in pain. Only then did she feel fear and beg for mercy. "Ethan, whatever you have to say, let me go first. Can't we talk this out properly?" My gaze at Emily held nothing but coldness devoid of any pity. After a moment of silence, I finally released my grip on her hand. She rubbed her reddened wrist where I had gripped it and held it out in front of me. "Ethan, look, you're so strong," she said. I couldn't be bothered to argue with her further and simply held out my palm, demanding the necklace. "Take it off." Emily protectively covered her chest with her hands. "But didn't you give this to me?" Her stubborn resistance irritated me, and I reached out to unfasten the necklace myself. Emily dodged and fell onto the sofa, and I tumbled down with her. Soft footsteps approached from the doorway. Just as I was about to look up, Emily beneath me quickly pulled down her spaghetti strap nightgown and began shouting loudly. Ethan, don't do this, woo." My collar was grabbed from behind as I turned around. A fist mercilessly slammed into my face. The same strength, the same face. It was Leo. His eyes were filled with murderous intent, as if he wanted to slice me to pieces. Emily buried herself in his arms, crying as if the floodgates had burst open. "Brother Ethan sent me a cake and a necklace and confessed to me. I don't want to agree, but he is threatening me with my mom's medical expenses. He wants to me," though Emily's words were incoherent. Both Leo and I understood. Leo grabbed a nearby stool and smashed it into me. I didn't have time to dodge. The stool hit my shoulder. The pain so intense I nearly suffocated. Leo raised it for a second strike, but I was faster. I snatched the vase from the table and swung it hard against his head. Blood trickled slowly down his forehead. Emily screamed in terror, and only then did I notice Sophia standing behind Leo. My heart dropped, and I immediately opened my mouth to explain. "Soph, it's not what you think. I didn't do anything to her." Before I could finish speaking, I was abruptly pinned to the ground by Leo. He threw punches at me relentlessly, and I fought back just as fiercely, grappling with him. Sophia rushed over to pull Leo away, but Emily stopped her. "Ethan tried to rape me. How could you go help him?" Sophia slapped Emily across the face, leaving Emily stunned and frozen in place. Leo caught sight of Emily being struck out of the corner of his eye. He stood up and raised his hand to hit Sophia, but I stopped him. My eyes darkened with fury as I ground my teeth and spat, "Damn it, how dare you lay a finger on my woman, you got a death wish." Leo gently caressed the red marks my grip had left on Emily's chest, his eyes barely concealing the madness beneath. "I should be the one saying this. How dare you treat Amy like that? I'll kill you." I tugged at the corner of my lips, but there wasn't a trace of amusement in my eyes. "Accusing me of assaulting her, where's the proof? She's the one wandering around my house dressed like that. I haven't even accused her of seducing me. Yet here you are the guilty party filing the first complaint." Emily frantically grabbed Leo's hand to explain, "I've always lived in this apartment. I didn't know he would come back." I burst out laughing. "Give me a break. This is my apartment. How dare you still live here? What, dreaming of marrying into the Miller family and becoming the lady of the house? Keep dreaming. And that necklace around your neck, I bought it for my fiancée. It has her initials engraved on it. The cake was also bought for her with my love confession written inside the greeting card. Who the hell do you think you are? How dare you claim I use these things to confess to you? You're as ugly as you are delusional. Taking without asking is theft. This necklace isn't cheap. Might as well call the police and let them decide. Oh, and by the way, my room has surveillance cameras installed. I can." The more I spoke, the paler Leo's face became, while Emily trembled uncontrollably. She clung to Leo's arm, weeping pitifully. "Brother, let us go," she cried. I delayed it all out so plainly. It's not like Leo was stupid. He gave Emily an inscrutable look, pulled his arm from her grasp, and walked ahead alone. No need to guess. Leo and Sophia were undoubtedly summoned by her. Seeing Leo leave without even turning his head, Emily tried to follow, but I stopped her. "Return my necklace and take your things. Get them out of here right now." Emily bit her lower lip, her eyes brimming with tears. How had I never noticed before how prone she was to crying? She took off the necklace, silently packed her things, then stood before me with swollen red-rimmed eyes, her voice still trembling with unshed sobs. "I know my family is poor, and I have no money. It's only natural you treat me as your plaything. Get out." Sophia, who remained silent until now, could take no more. She grabbed her suitcase and shoved Emily out the door along with her, then slammed it shut with a resounding bang. I picked up the deformed cake from the floor side and threw it into the trash bin. Sophia walked over and sat down on the sofa, pointing to the seat opposite her. "Let us talk. Why have you changed so much?" I knew I couldn't avoid this question, I said, ruffling my hair a couple times before briefly explaining to Sophia about my awakening. Sophia frowned, resting her chin on her hand in deep thought. "So you're saying you only liked Emily because the plot controlled you?" I nodded vigorously to prove my innocence. Sophia cheered and threw herself onto me, her eyes curving into two crescent moons. I knew there's no way my Ethan would ever abandon me. By the end, Sophia's voice was choked with sobs. She buried her head in my chest, shoulders trembling as she wept silently. My heart ached too, and I held her tightly in my arms. After Sophia had calmed down, I removed Emily's fingerprint access and changed the passcode. Neither Sophia nor I could bear to stay in that apartment anymore, so I called my father and asked him to sell it. This year, as seniors, we don't have many classes left. I plan to go to the company and learn from my father, preparing to take over the business early. Because of my awakening, the plotline has almost completely collapsed. I want to see how Leo can build his business empire without my help. 9. Without my financial support, I heard Emily isn't doing well at all. Now in her senior year, she has no choice but to go out and find a job. For the past 3 years, she's done nothing but cling to me, failing several major courses. When she went for job interviews, she knew nothing. After finally finding a job, she complained the salary was too low. What's more, she's now infamous online. Many companies want to hire her. Later, Sophia told me Emily got together with a rich second-generation heir named Taylor Harrison. This Taylor's family is our Miller Group, a sworn rival in my past life. It was their family who teamed up with Leo to bring us down. Unlike me, who was swayed by the plot and would do anything for Emily, Tyler only got together with Emily despite me after hearing I once had feelings for her. He simply treated Emily as a plaything, but Emily was bold and capable. She actually stole Harrison Group as confidential data and sold it to another company only for me to secretly purchase it. I mercilessly crushed Harrison Group. When Tyler came to his senses and tried to send Emily to prison, he couldn't find any evidence. Before Harrison Group declared bankruptcy, Tyler ruined Leo's small company and even angrily drove his car straight at Emily. Emily was left with a lame leg. Taylor was thrown into prison, and Leo was drowning in debt, harassed by relentless debt collectors. They even sold their house. Emily followed Leo, doing the dirtiest and hardest labor, no longer maintaining her former pitiful appearance. After a period of calm, the hospital called me. "Mr. Miller, something terrible has happened. Emily's mother says if she doesn't see you today, she'll jump off a building and kill herself." I stared at my phone speechlessly to avoid causing trouble for our Miller group. I had no choice but to grab my car keys and head to the hospital. A crowd had gathered outside Emily's mother's hospital room. Her mother had one foot on the windowsill poised, as if ready to jump at any moment. I quietly asked the hospital director, "Have you called the police?" The director nodded. Emily knelt before her mother, crying her heart out with hoarse sobs. "Ethan Miller has been funding my mother's medical expenses all along. I'm extremely grateful to him. He has always wanted me to be his girlfriend, but I refused, so he cut off my mother's hospital funding and had me fired from the company. With no money to pay the bills, the hospital stopped treating my mother. Since Ethan chose to help me, why couldn't he see it through to the end? Driven to desperation with no way to survive, my mother was forced to attempt suicide. How could Ethan Miller be so heartless?" I pushed through the crowd and walked in, asking impatiently, "Tell me, what do you want me to do?" Emily thought I was scared, exchanging a glance with her mother. She stood up and stated her conditions. "First, you need to pay my mother's hospital fees. That's what you promised me. Also, the Miller Group must not stop funding me. Give me $5 million and reinstate my previous position at the Miller Group. I want to continue working there." Seeing how serious she was, I smiled and asked, "How about giving you the position of the Miller Group's mistress too?" Emily froze for a long moment before replying with delighted surprise, "Why, you're proposing to me." I withdrew my smile, sat down on a chair, and looked at her with utter disdain. "Try sleeping with an extra pillow tonight. Maybe you'll dream it into reality." As if caught off guard by my teasing, Emily's smile instantly collapsed. She took a deep breath and said pitifully, "Even though you proposed to me, I still love you. You must agree to those conditions I mentioned earlier, or if my mother dies, you'll never have peace in your life." It seems she didn't understand me. I explained word by word. What I said was absolutely nothing will be given. Emily's tears immediately welled up in her eyes. I was truly impressed, finally understanding the meaning behind that saying women are made of water. Emily's mother, who had initially stepped down, suddenly climbed back onto the windowsill, startling the nurse, who rushed to catch her. Her mother screamed, forbidding anyone to approach. "Don't come any closer. If anyone dares take another step, I'll jump right now. I don't want to live anymore. What is the point of living like this? I might as well just die." The crowd watching began to berate me for being heartless. Team Miller Group, the wealthiest company around here, always boasting about charity work. Yet when there is someone right here in need, they refuse to help. When someone is about to jump off a building, the Millers can just stand by and watch a company that capitalizes on tragedy for attention. I won't be buying their products anymore. Their voices grew louder, and Emily flashed me a barely perceptible smug smile. She thought she had me cornered. She underestimated me. I waved to the crowd. "Everyone, Emily has already graduated from college this year. What more does the Miller Group need to fund her? For $5 million, how many people can't even earn that much in a lifetime? Is she trying to rob us blind? Can't the money she earns from work pay for her mother's treatment? If she is short on funds now, she can borrow. There are plenty of ways. Does she really enjoy being a freeloader that much? The Miller Group is a business, not a charity. If you want a job, go earn it yourself. The Miller Group welcomes every capable individual equally." Miss Emily, expecting others to be your fool and hand you things, then crying when they don't. What kind of behavior is that your mother's suicide act for sympathy? There are far more desperate cases in the hospital, and they carry themselves with far more dignity. After such a long rant, I was getting thirsty. The dean promptly handed me a bottle of water. The police and firefighters arrived, all trying to reason gently with Emily's mother. The onlookers erupted in outrage, accusing Emily and her mother of being unreasonable. Emily's mother's foot hesitated, awkwardly unsure whether to pull back or keep it in place. As the police continued persuading, Emily's mother trembled and tried to step down, only for Emily to rush over and stop her. "No, you can't leave. Ethan Miller hasn't fulfilled his promise to me yet. Ethan Miller, I agreed to be with you. Let us get married, okay?" She kept muttering, "I'm the female lead. Ethan, I'm the real female lead. If you marry me, you'll become the male lead of this world and gain everything." I chuckled twice, my tone resolute. "I will never marry you in this lifetime. Give up on this idea." Emily didn't expect me to refuse so decisively. She began to lose control. Emily's mother tried to pull her back, but was violently shoved away. That single push proved disastrous. Emily's mother screamed as she fell. By the time the firefighters rushed to rescue her, it was too late. Emily was arrested. Leo received the news when Emily had already gone to the detention center. The person Emily pushed was actually Leo's mother. Leo's mother and Emily's father were a blended family, and Emily's father had died in a car accident 2 years ago. Emily tearfully begged Leo to issue a letter of forgiveness, and Leo agreed. He took Emily out of prison and held a funeral for his mother. 11 not long after, my assistant informed me that Leo had been tricked by Emily into going to Mexico. Unable to endure the hardship of being chased for debts, every day Emily conspired with debt collectors to lure the ambitious Leo to Mexico with promises of high wages. Shortly after Leo was deceived, Emily was arrested on suspicion of human trafficking. When I visited Emily in prison, she glared at me viciously as if she wanted to kill me. Did you have the same dream? As me, you are the one who should be damned, the one who should be been sold to Mexico. Seeing her deranged state, the heavy weight in my heart finally lifted. I treated you so well. How could you do this to me? You like Leo, so why are you keeping me as backup? I deal with Leo, and you all treat me like the villainous second male lead, wishing me a miserable end. What did I do wrong? Emily shook her head. No, that's not how it is. I'm the female lead, and you're the villainous second male lead. You're supposed to meet a bad end. Emily, have you no shame? I was the top student. What's wrong with giving me the scholarship? What about Leo? He treated you so well. Why did you heartlessly sell him out too? Emily, just admit it. There's no one more selfish than you. Now I suspect that brainless, arrogant author might actually be you. To highlight your heroine's halo, you chose Leo as your male lead. You portrayed Sophie and me as despicable villains when in truth we did nothing wrong. Making you fall into the plot is the best punishment for you. Emily covered her ears, repeating incessantly, no, it's not like this. I'm the heroine. I'm the author. I can control the plot. I pulled Emily out of prison and sent her to Mexico, bringing Leo back in exchange. Numerous videos of Emily being abused in Mexico were sent back. Leo glanced at them once without any reaction. Later, Leo left the city and never returned. I married Sophia, uniting the Miller Group and the Davis Group, a powerful alliance that propelled our business empire to new heights. The end.